Hey friends, what's up? Phillip here with Points of Phillip, and I'm actually here because I want to talk to you about the last 2 months that I've had the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Now, we've been talking a lot about the Chase Sapphire Reserve and all the news that's been going along with that, but I wanted to stop and kind of think about my personal experience with the Chase Sapphire line and, well, what I think about it, because it might just be the best card I own that I really don't plan on using anymore. So let's get into that. But before we do that, I want to ask you guys to like and subscribe. Doing that helps me and YouTube know that what I'm doing is helpful for you guys. And if you do that, that actually helps more people to view the content as well. So I really appreciate your help there. All right, so let's get into the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Now, the top lines here are this card has a $95 annual fee. It also has a regular bonus of 60,000 points after spending $5,000 over the course of 3 months. Now, I was able to get this, so I actually have this as an authorized user. It was my wife was able to be approved for this card because I am well above 524. Now, so let's take a look at the multiplier. So this gets 5 points per dollar on anything through the Chase portal. And so airfare, hotels, cruises, if you pay for it with this card, you get 5 points per dollar. Now, 3 points per dollar on dining, streaming, and online grocery. 2 points per dollar on general travel. And so this actually is going to be a little bit stronger than the Chase Sapphire Reserve, at least the new one, because this still has a general travel category, even if it is only 2x. So it just matches the Capital One Venture or Venture X. Now, you also get 1 point per dollar on everything else. And it also has a $50 credit through the Chase Travel Portal and a free DoorDash membership, which can be helpful at times, right? Currently, you can get a bonus of 1.25 cents per point. Basically, when you redeem points, they can be redeemable for 1.25 cents per point through the portal. Now, the newest revamp of the Chase Sapphire Reserve has gotten away with that 1.5 cent per point bonus in the travel portal. So if whenever they refresh this card, it's very likely that will actually go away. So I don't know how much longer that's going to stay in effect, but it's there currently, so we get to talk about it. Now, why did I get it? So my wife got approved for this card. There was a 100,000 point sign up bonus a couple months ago, and we got it because of the high bonus, and the spend requirement was aligned with our budget. Also, we know we had some Hyatt stays lined up, and we knew that those points were going to go a long way towards making that happen. In fact, we're redeeming those points for a stay in Washington, D.C., and so, well, that's going to save us close to $1,000 for redeeming about 50,000 points. And so that's going to be nice, right? That's going to be really good for us. So now what can you do with your points? So this is kind of the superpower. Chase has a lot of transfer partners that are more limited in other areas, right? So United, Southwest, Hyatt are all top transfer partners, and they make things really easy to get value from. But it's also something, so some of these partners like United and Hyatt have limited opportunities to get from other transferable currencies. Like for instance, Hyatt and Southwest you can only get those points through Built as well. And so Chase kind of points are really kind of important for if those are places that you care about, right? Other partners are also really easy to get value from if you're able to understand airline partnerships. Like Aeroplan is really good for booking United flights. Air France is really good for booking Delta flights, things like that, right? So that's going to be important. Now, here's the thing. Will I keep using this card now that the sign-up bonus is done? Yes and no. So it's a Visa card, and it's one that I can use for 1x on Costco purchases if I need to in a pinch. It's also possible that it will be accepted more overseas than other cards in my wallet, so that could be helpful for the dining category and things like that. However, it doesn't earn that well in other categories. So if I'm using it for traveling, I only get 2 points per dollar if I'm not a portal guy, which I'm not. And I have other cards that give 3 points per dollar and 5 points per dollar on top travel categories on purchases made directly with hotels or airlines. So I won't be using this to buy, airfare or something like that. Also, the gold card, my American Express gold card, gets 4 points per dollar on dining and grocery, and that doesn't just restrict me to online grocery purchases. So I don't really, with this one, you have to think about, okay, if I go to Publix, but I pay through the app, then I actually get that 3 points per dollar. But if I actually just pay at the register, then I only get 1 point per dollar, and that's a lot of nuance and a lot of expectations to put on someone with an authorized user, or, or player two, right? So, the gold card is a lot easier. Use this if it's food. That's a lot easier than saying, well, you got to use the app, you got to do this, right? It's a lot more restrictive with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So what cards will I actually use? So honestly, the American Express Gold card is kind of a solid card all around. Now, it does have a $325 annual fee, but for that you get, well, a lot of credits. You get a $100 Resi credit. You get basically $240 in credits between Grubhub and other dining areas, and then Uber. And then you also get $84 in Dunkin' Donuts credits. And so those are really kind of easy to use. It's not too much that it overwhelms and makes it difficult to figure out how to get value from. But you also get 4 points per dollar on dining and grocery purchases. And then you also get 3 points per dollar on airfare purchases as well, which is, well, kind of nice because that can be direct. So if you're someone who flies occasionally but doesn't fly enough to actually warrant getting a premium travel card, the American Express Gold card actually can really come in clutch as kind of your travel card. So I also can factor in the Saver card through Capital One. So that card gets you 3 points per dollar on dining and groceries, and it also gets 3 points per dollar on entertainment purchases, which is really interesting and intriguing as well, in addition to streaming. And so you also have some other cards like the City Strata Premier that can get you 3 points per dollar on dining and groceries and gas and a bunch of other things as well. And and honestly, for that matter, the American Express Green card also gets you 3 points per dollar on dining. And so there's a lot of other cards that can give me more value than just having this card. I will continue to use the Venture card for anything else. So I do have the Blue Business Plus. However, now that I actually have a budding YouTube business, I decided to actually transfer all of my business expenses to that card. And then because I have the Venture card and because I don't really see much of a difference between American Express and Capital One points, basically I'll just put all that spend on the Venture card for non-category spend. Anything else? I use enough of the partnerships with Air France, Aeroplan, and Virgin that honestly, Capital One, Chase points, and American Express points are kind of interchangeable for me, except Chase maybe want to be more reserved for Hyatt, at least at this point. Additionally, overseas, I'll be able to use the Venture card and the Saver card more. So if the American Express Gold card isn't taken, I can use the Capital One Saver card. That gets 3 points per dollar on dining and groceries, and that's worldwide. And then you also get 3% back on entertainment. So that can be really helpful as well. And none of those cards come with foreign transaction fees. Now, to be fair, this one doesn't either. So, there's not really any much of a benefit after that. So, honestly, I want to like this card, right? I like Chase points. I like the Ultimate Rewards points. I like Hyatt as a system. Being able to, convert directly to United is really solid. But it's just the way the multipliers work, 2 points per dollar on general travel is more than what you get with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, right? But it still just doesn't get you anything more meaningful than if I just use the Venture X card for everything, right? Or the Venture card, because that gets 2 points per dollar on everything. And so if I just bring that with me instead of this one when I'm traveling, I get more points back. And so this one's kind of really, I will want to use it more, but I don't know if I will, because it's just the online grocery category just makes it more difficult to use. The 2 points per dollar on the general travel just is weird, and the 1 point per dollar on everything else is not something that I really care for. And so, honestly, it's not going to be in my wallet moving forwards. And that's why I say that it's the coolest card that I wanted to own, but I just won't use it. And that kind of makes me sad. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I really appreciate you listening to me rant about this. And if you have a similar experience, let me know. If you think I'm crazy, also please let me know as well. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you again until next time.